All
All
right,
right, guys.
welcome everyone to the very first Predators and Prey event held at Games Portal, coming Saturday, June 18th. Got Nigel along with me, who's the brains behind the PowerPoint and all the tech that's going on behind the scenes. So thanks to you, Nigel. We're going to run through event summary, schedule, missions, scoring system, the list one by one, which won't be too long, and then we'll get onto the pairings, have a look at the grudges, who wins, uh, and who we think um, might win round one. So thanks for joining us, guys. Um, we'll flick onto the schedule. So the event's happening at Games Portal in Ringwood, as we all know. Please be there from 8:30. Set up. Um, Table numbers will be out in your tables, and you'll soon know those when we get to the pairings. But please be on time because we're on a very tight schedule. Um, come as soon as you can, and just before 9 o'clock, we'll have a briefing so everyone's clear on the scoring system and various terrain um, and things like that. You can see game one is First Blood, um, just 2.75 hours. Then we've got 45 minutes for lunch break and Best Painted. And Savage Games is game two, which is 2 and 3/4 hours. Game three, Survival of the Fittest, 2 and 3/4 hours. If you haven't played that one yet, I suggest you probably do so because it's got a couple of little tricky elements in there. And then we'll have our prizes and raffle and um, just wrap up the day.
Yeah.
Anything to add on that, Nige?
Probably just make sure everybody remembers all the little weird things that go on with each of the missions. So like First Blood, it's got the weird vantage point thing for whoever goes second. They have to pick an objective, and whoever owns that currently gets an extra CP. Um, Savage Gains, I'm sure you've all played it a million times. One for your home, two for the wings, four for your opponent's objective, up the back. And Survival Fitness, the Predator units. A Predator kills the Predator, you get an extra VP. So yeah, just keep
Yeah,
those in mind. There's little weird things, and should be all good. Apart from that,
very interesting that game. Um, if you kill a predator with a predator and also a priority target, especially if you're one of those prime hunters,
oh
as
yeah,
you'll see on the next page. So you can really score really
huge,
heavily in that third game. And it fits the theme. That's why we've chucked it in there.
cool.
On to the hunt. So what Nigel's done here with this slide is he's eliminated, this is not the exact document. He's eliminated all the stuff that's not in the event. So if you have a look at this, our priority targets that are actually in our lists for this event, you've got Storm Drake, Vanguard Raptors, Hurricane, Spirit of the Winds, Severus, Bastiladon, and Be'lakor. They're worth one each if you kill them, if any army kills them, and the Prime Hunters get an additional +1 if they kill them. The Sylvaneth, Heat Knights, Skaven and OBR. And don't forget, if you do kill a unit that is reinforced, you get an extra +1. So possibly Sylvaneth kills 6 Vanguard Raptors because they are reinforced. They will get 1 for killing it, an extra 1 because it's reinforced, and another 1 for Sylvaneth. So that's 3. So
A lot
keep
of
that in
points.
mind. Yes, keep that in mind, especially if you're running. Well, I can tell you now, we do have Sylvaneth, Slaanesh, Skaven and OBR. A couple of Skaven too. So that might decide the game.
Oh yeah, very much almost get half a turn worth of points, which is a lot.
Especially in battle round 3. Might be a lot of game score points floating around.
Yep.
What are the scoring system? No, just as you.
Cool. Yeah. So we're using a differential scoring system. So whatever your score is at the end of the game, after you've done grand strategy and all those shenanigans, look up the difference. So if you're, oops, doink. Yeah. So if you're, it's a 4 point difference, then the winner is effectively a 13. The loser is a 7. Um, just keep that in mind. We do have scoring sheets on the tables for each of the missions, so you just have to fill that out as you go. Should be nice and simple. And yeah, hand that sheet in at the end to Anthony, and all good.
Yeah, so I'm actually doing the scoring on Down Under pairings, and I've set that all up. So hopefully we'll be able to mirror that on the TV at Games Portal for everyone to see, along with the time. But yeah, you fill that out and you just hand it to me, and I'll put it Down Under pairings. It can be a bit flaky at times, so we'll also have an Excel spreadsheet on the go too. But get used to that scoring system. It's also in the Facebook event if you do want to have a look at it. We used it at Border War to great success. We thought it was good. It does encourage people to continue to play out their games, and also rewards those pilots who lose but don't lose hard. But they still get game score points at the end. So make sure that you play it through, help yourself out.
Yep, try to play out all 5, even if you're getting crushed, because the smaller you can make that differential, the better. Yep, kicking, screaming all 5 rounds, exactly, Trini.
All right, on to the factions. Nigel's made a wonderful choreograph here.
Yeah, I'm sure you've all seen it on Facebook. It's really cool that we're this split up. Like, it's really nice. We've only really got a couple of doubles, which is great. Only the one triple. We're not just infested with wall-to-wall Stormcast, which is great. Yeah, so it's nice just to see a nice split like that.
Can those playing at home see that on the YouTube at the moment, Nigel?
Should be able to.
Not sure. I can't. But yeah, it's good to see so many different factions. What was that? 18? 17 out of 20? It's pretty good.
Yeah, I think mostly we just need to get all our destruction guys to start turning up to tournaments. See if we can crowd out some of the Chaos and Order guys out and get the destruction teams in. And yeah. So yeah.
I can't see your screen, Nige. I've got the scoring system up. I'll just have a look at it again. Might just jump out and pop back in.
Ah, cool. It just seems to be PowerPoint is cheating itself. Awesome. Should be all good on the stream though. Everyone's on the Grand Alliance split, I assume.
Yeah, we can't see it though. So restart.
There we go. See if that worked. There we go. That should be better for you, Anthony.
I can see Chaos.
Yep, that's what we're on to now.
Yep.
Cool,
right.
cool.
So we've just divided up all the factions by the Grand Alliance. So we've got Chaos first, and we're going to go through each list. So I'm going to talk about Chaos. So we've got Jared Coots.
Yep, just a first note for everybody. If they are on 2,000 points exactly, I haven't listed the Triumph.
No, Jared, everyone's favourite gamer from Geelong, Lost Legion, I believe. Jared's coming up. Good player, great bloke. He's got Legion of the First Prince. Now look, 3 big Chaos Demons and lots of other stuff. He's got Plague Bearers, which can be a lot to chew through. Flesh Hounds for objective holding. The Furies are incredibly annoying. He'll have a bit of a chuckle at that. He ran those at Border War. They can retreat instead of fighting. Crime against the Khorne Bloodthirster for dispelling and some hero hunting. So probably has the most savage bracketing on a weapon we've ever seen. 6 to 3 damage versus second bracket on a missile profile as well. He's got Scarbrand, who gets more powerful as he gets slapped around too, and a great unclean one, which is a big fat chunk of wounds and hard to remove. So, and 2 sloppity bile pipers there. Support heroes for Nurgle. What do you make of that, Nige?
Well, mainly it's the crime against Khorne. How dare you make a Khorne Bloodthirster a magician? And a master of magic at that. I mean, really, what's up with that?
Yeah, well,
explain yourself, Coots. How dare you?
Secret tech, or he's been talking to Sam in the background. So that's looking good. Got the Hunters there and the Warlord, which we'll see a few of.
Yep.
That nice list, Jared. That'll be very competitive.
Yeah.
In the wing. Next we've got James. So James has got the great unclean one. Climax is the snail guy that we all know, and he's the booster for all those beasts of Nurgle. How many beasts of Nurgle has he got there? 10?
I think it's 12 or something like that. And it's 9.
Yeah, 9. So he's got 9 beasts of Nurgle. It's good to see James is environmentally conscious about all this with his plants and his trees. Um, he's got the Entrapness. Enraptress is the Harp Lady and anti-wizard hero, re-rolling successful casts. Beasts retreat and charge and do impact mortals on the charge as well. And the Nurglings are just another huge pile of annoyance that grab objectives and muck around. I'm sure I could probably summon a fair bit of stuff too, but I believe this is Lenny's Border War, very similar to Lenny's Border War one. So they might have just done a swap.
Yeah, it seems like it.
What do you reckon, Nigel?
Yeah, I don't know. I can see there's some armies this is going to be really crazy against, and there's some which just going to be like, oh, this is not going to work too well. But it should be fun. Anyone who
Here's
likes casting magic is not going to like that in Traptors. Like having
and
to reroll your successfuls. Ouch.
James and Beast of Nurgle look really good too. He's painted them really well. A few proxies, but Beast of Nurgle should be proxies. They look sick. 1955 points, so he's probably going to get a triumph. 117 wounds, and by the time he finishes deployment, it'll be in first round. It's probably going to be lunchtime with 13 drops.
Nah, it's not that bad. It's
Nah,
only
it's not
what,
that bad. It's
9,
not the worst.
10, 11, 12 models, something like that.
Hey, yeah. Well, we encourage that, so we've got to own it. All right. So James has been playing very well too. Late went 3-0 on a toss of the coin, I think, at Rumble 2, and did work very well at Rumble 1. On to his mate, on to Lenny from Miscast as well. He's got Maggotkin of Nurgle, Lord of Afflictions, and Be'lakor, which does Be'lakor things, and he's got the Blowflies. So with Drowned Men, he can make that pre-game move. They can advance up, they can pin you, and I think they've got 8 wounds each. This is a very good list, and we've rated this probably the first S tier list of the tournament. So no pressure, Lenny. Lord of Afflictions, command trait. Enemies cannot issue commands while within 7 and not receive if wholly within 7. I actually came up against that at Border War. That was hella annoying.
Brutal.
Couldn't, and then he's got Be'lakor as well, so he just Be'lakors you and then stops you doing using your command abilities and stuff. But Be'lakor's ethereal once per game for a chosen unit. To 3 up, that unit can't do anything, so it's really, really powerful. Really powerful. The flies are really hard to chew through, and they do heaps of damage, mortals, and then you've got all your contagion points at the end. So he's just going to chip away and just make life hell, I reckon. He's going to do well. He knows how to play Nurgle pretty well. 7 drops. He won't be getting a triumph, and he's got hunters.
Yeah.
So good list, Lenny.
If anyone's seen on Seasonal War, pretty much this list, pretty much one-shotting 4 giants. It's very powerful with the mortal wounds coming out.
It is beatable though.
Oh yeah, it's beatable, but
beatable.
it's a tough one.
You can get into their head with deployment. So whoever's playing Lenny, do your homework.
Yep.
Next up, we've got everyone's second favourite painter, Carlos.
Ooh.
Oh, what a surprise. Skaven Tide.
Didn't see that coming.
So Carlos is this is the last ride of the old Skaven. He has evolved his list somewhat. Actually, no, he hasn't.
He's come back around full circle. This is where he started.
Yeah, he's got the acolytes. He's thrown the acolytes in there in the Jezzails. He hasn't had a lot of luck with Jezzails at club lately. So I hope he has a bit more luck at the event. But yeah, he's got the clan rats as a speed bump. Since they're still 20 models. We know they go down to a stiff breeze, but they can still grab objectives. His Storm Fiends are the main hitters, buffed by the Bombardiers, and Giselles could put out decent power range too. And we're hoping for a lucky Vermin Lord from the Screaming Bell. I think he's got form with that against a couple of players. Summoning a Vermin Lord. I think he might have done it against James before. How annoying. Low points, 1955. Probably get a triumph. 141 wounds. And 9 drops for a Skaven list.
Yeah.
Well, and a few others. That's surprising. But yeah, 3 heroes, 60 clan rats. And they'll all be painted really well. His acolytes look sick.
Oh yeah.
Those,
Look great.
the lighting on them looks sick. Yeah. So I'm sure he'll be gunning for a painting award too. He'll be right up there. We got next Kieran Coates. Kieran been doing very, very well lately. Kieran went 3-2 at Rural Rampage, I think, and also went 3-2 at Rumble. I think he might have gone 2-1. No, 3-2 Border War, 3-2 at Rural, and 2-1, I think, at Rumble too. So he certainly knows how to play Skaven well. He's hoping not to get a Nighthaunt matchup. Telling you that for a fact. Because he's got PTSD from the Nighthaunt spell. But continuing from above, the Storm Vermin are hard hitters and also speed bumps. They can put out a bit and they've got that nice range. So they can get in a couple of ranks. The Clawed Lord's fairly fighty and the Arch Warlock's a decent magic thrower. Banquol is a unit delete. He's going to want to come up against the Horde army so he can get those 4 dice for each model, is it? 4
Yep.
up to models. So he'd be rolling a lot of dice. So he's hoping probably to come up against another Skaven list. Might be interesting against Mortek too, which we'll see later. Deceiver is a beat stick, also somewhat squishy if you get to him first. And the priest is good for slapping curse on someone. The rattling guns are mini guns, but they're fun to use. What else has he got?
Just the Warp Lightning Vortex after that, which is...
Oh, that spell is annoying.
Yep.
Very, very annoying. What's it do? Stop your movement charge?
Stops you flying and stops you running, as well as doing mortals. So, yeah. It is awkward to get down, though. It's really hard because it's very precise measurements. So, yeah.
Yeah, but Kieran's one to watch. He's been playing quite well lately and definitely knows how to pilot Skaven. Yeah, very, very good player. Not great guy, very nice guy. Oh, and look who we've got next. Cohen, the Hyphen. He's running Skaven. That's 3 Skaven in a row. Not sure last time I saw 3 Skaven lists in an event. Good to see. Cohen's the third rat amongst the group. He has the highest wound count here of 166.
Have fun, people.
He's got some rat ogres. He's got 8 rat ogres. So
and 80 clan rats.
80. Oh, jeez. Get the chess clocks out for this one. He's got a Warp Fire Thrower, which is a Horde Killer. The Hell Pit. The Hell Pit's not a Tyrannid and can also absolutely slap a unit when it's in combat and has a chance of returning. So let's see. I think he's actually running the Hell Pit, which should be interesting. Master Molders are support heroes. I think they're actually surprisingly good in combat too.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Points, yeah. Now, Cohen, we do have an issue with your battalions. You've got your Warlord battalion, but we're disappointed that you're the only player that did not put in Hunters of the Heartlands. Is that right, Nige?
Yep, only one, and he's got plenty of room to do it.
Yeah, only one, and he could have done it. Yep. Oh well, live and learn. But good to see Cohen at an event. It might be this is his first event. Might be. So
yeah, it should be
all the
good.
best, Cohen. Enjoy yourself. And Jared. Jared's from Model Citizens, and this is his first event. Now, Jared has been doing extremely well with Slash, believe it or not, at club. Cleaned me up in my first game with Nighthaunt, and draw last week with who did he play? Ironjaws or Bone Splitters, which is a very good result. So he's very accomplished with this, and this army looks amazing. He is definitely going to rival Carlos for painting. So keep an eye on Jared's finish. It's a stunningly beautiful army. Don't be fooled on the model count because he has a lot of summoning potential. I saw his game on Tuesday and I thought he was out of it. And then he summoned those massive chariots and he was summoning all kinds of stuff. So it's good. Glutos is a massive roadblock of wounds as well as a good buffer and debuffer. He's got Sinessa, also a support hero. Does okay models at shooting and negs to attack. Can issue commands board wide, which is really good. And he's got Sigvald. Now, Sigvald's a hero hunter. Strikes first on the charge. No ward save versus him. 4+ ward. He's really good. Don't think he can come off the... Don't think he can teleport within 6 on this list. Because in other Slaanesh lists he can.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just runs it around in this one, but still
Yeah,
fairly
nothing too...
fast.
Yeah, but Sigvald can be an absolute pain. The rest of the list there is just for generating depravity points and summoning points. So expect to see packs of demonettes to start popping up all over the place if Jared gets going, and he'll just take objectives when if you let your guard down, he'll just pop them out.
Yeah, you look away and all of a sudden there's an extra 30 demonettes on the board, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, good bloke, Jared. He'll just kill you with kindness if he loses anyway. So he's a winner around. So that is chaos. Move on to death. I'm going to do death, and then Nigel's going to do destruction and order. So we've got Zane, a Nighthawk player. This will be his first event, and he's a model citizen as well. Zane has got an awesome army. His theme is pink and purple, and actually his Nagash won Best Painted at Rumble 2 a couple of weeks ago. Everything's painted really nicely. I played against this a couple of days ago, and he certainly knows how to play the new Nighthawk rules, which is good. He's got the Emerald Host, so that does at the start of the game he can choose D3+1 units, and they take D3 models on a 2-up at the end of the battle round. So it's good for chipping away little pesky heroes. He's got Warlord and Hunters. The Knight of Shrouds. The Knight of Shrouds got amazing tech because every time he slays a model, he can heal himself wound, and he can add +1 to his wound characteristic. I've seen the Knight of Shrouds get up to 10 wound characteristic of 10 in a game. He's got the Soulfire ring, so I think he can actually heal himself D6 wounds too. With that, Spiteful Spirit might be the one where I think on a 4-up, depending on what the Knight of Shrouds wound characteristic is, on a 4-up, you roll that many dice for the wounds characteristic, on a 4-up you do mortals back. Pretty good. Got the Guardian of Souls with the Midnight Tome, so he can cast an endless spell automatically on a 12, but you can't unbind it. So you can see what he's doing here. I won't give too much away. Shade misses neg 1 to wound. You got Raknor who can blow out a candle for +3. To cast, he's got his Krulgast Cruciator, which is neg 1 damage if you're terrified with it wholly within 12. It's gonna be hit and miss in this meta, I think. But it will work. It will be good against a couple of lists that you'll see later on. Spirit Torment's good, can heal flat 3 wounds at the end of the combat phase. He's got 2 units of 10 Chain Rasps to soak up and unleash hell or get objectives. 20 Chain Rasps, 20 Reapers. Now Reapers are great because they can fight in 2 ranks. They're 4/3s. Reapers also get a bonus on attack, I think, if they're fighting a unit with 5 models. Chain Ghasts are there for +1 to hit. He's got the Mongol. Mongol's got a debuff. Neg 1 to hit debuff within 6 inches. It's a monster. Heals itself. Bit of hit and miss the Mongol because only 10 wounds. Can be pretty squishy, but it can do a bit of damage. Be really annoying. So all the best, Zane. Your army looks amazing, mate. You certainly know how to play Nighthaunt, and you'll give a few people a bit of trouble, I reckon, especially if you get those 8, 9, 10 charges off. You'll do really well. Right, Simon's back, and he's brought the dirtiest list he could possibly do with OBR. Simon used to run this list in the early days. He's a model citizen. He's got his 60 more tech and his 2 harvesters, Catacross, Bone Shaper, and Soul Mason. So we're putting bets on now in the chat. So if you're in the chat, we want to know how many models do you think are going to be painted? So how many models he's got there? 63 models, Nige?
Yep.
How many do you think are going to be painted fully at base?
65 models actually, but yeah. Oh, I don't think he's going to break 20 models all up painted.
Well, I think he might have 20 more tuck painted, but does he have base though? That's the question. So fully based and painted, how many models?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to break 20.
Well, I've painted 3 of his, but they're not in this list. So that, this is going to be tough because 3 battle line, 3 units of 20 Mortec card, um, and they get to, don't they, shield wall, reroll saves, got a ward, so you've got to get through them. It's going to be pretty hard.
Yeah,
Some
if you
Warlord
can't take
Rogues,
out Catacross and the Harvester, it's bad luck.
Catacross gives what, +1 save, +1 hit, gets more slappy when he's hurt. His Harvesters regen the Mortec. His Bone Shaper and Soul Mason are good for buffing and regeneration of the Mortec. Rip your hopes of broken ranks you've got there, Nige. So someone's trying to get that grand strategy. Good luck. You got to go all in on the Mortec. Absolutely all in. So there's definitely a way you can bring this down. We won't talk about that too much, so we'll help Simon out. But yeah, it's a good list. Simon knows what he's doing. He's played in a few events. Yeah, it's a good solid OBR list.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
All right. Next, Return of the Prez. Will and Knight, the president, Model Citizens president, and he's bringing Soulblight Gravelords. Will ran something similar to this. I think it's Con when Soulblight came out, did very well. I think he might have even won it. I'll come second. This is a great list. It's got heaps of tech. It's Belladama is amazing. She can, pretty sure she can pin you down with dire wolves. If she does a wound or something, and you can just spawn dire wolves and pin you down. The Vampire Lord and Zombie Drag is great for slapping things around as a big hitter. Neferata's Nefi. I think Neferata got nerfed a bit, but she's not bad in combat. Also being a decent wizard. And as I said, Belladama can use the wolves and I think pin with wolves. The Blood Knights are great hitters, good saves, 3 wounds each. Can just move straight out of combat and in the movement phase and do mortals on the way out. A little bit like the old Hex Wraith flyover. So screening Blood Knights can be difficult. The corpse cart's there for buffing things and probably buffing the skeletons. Yeah, and the wolves and skeletons are there for taking objectives and tons of healing. Now, Bill might not have played for a while, but he certainly knows how to play this list and he knows how to play Warhammer, so he'll be one to watch. And they're tough to get through. It's all like Gravelords, and we know with death, if you don't destroy the unit, well, it'll come back. It'll come back pretty quickly. So make sure you go all in. All right, good to have you back, Will. On to destruction, Nigel.
Yeah, a lone destruction list with Jack. He's got his Ogre tribes and he's got the Stonehorns. This is pretty much destruction in a picture. Run fast, real fast into something and just blow it off the board with mortals on the impact. Because they all do that. They all have 5-up wards. So yeah. Don't get charged, bro.
It's gonna hurt someone.
Oh yeah. And ogres are really interesting. They've got a lot of little like +1s and +3 movements all around sprinkled in the book rather than just on the war scroll. So whoever's playing Jack off the rip, make sure you take a look through the app, find all the little +1s everywhere for doing your measurements. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself getting charged top of turn 1 and not having an army. But yeah, it should be cool.
I think that's pretty low for this meta. He's going to do well. He's going to be able to dictate who goes first, I reckon.
Yep, well, there's only 2 6-drop lists, myself and Jack. So everybody else doesn't get the choice.
I love it. I love it. It's got one purpose,
yep.
doesn't it? It's just a smash.
Yep.
So smash or be smashed. So good on you, Jack. I think Jack might be a first-time event player. I know he's been playing a bit down with the Misfit guys. But welcome, Jack. I hope you enjoy the event. Certainly a fun list to play.
Yeah, and it's going to be over quickly as well, which will be fun.
You can paint some of Simon's minis.
Alrighty, let's dive onto the order. Otherwise known as me first. Yay! Cool. This is my new list that I've been running around and not going too well with at the moment, but I guess we'll find out in time. It's primarily a battle shock bomb. So if you're the kind of person running elite units around, run far away from me because I'm going to kill one of you guys and the rest are going to run away instantly. is fun. Got the Frost Phoenix. Main thing with it is the neg 1 to wound aura around it, which is actually kind of brutal at times. He's got a ton of magic capability as well with the Secretive Warlock. Battle Mage just for sticking up the back and sending out the Horrorghast, which prevents you from doing anything in the Battle Shock phase to do with command abilities. So, no Inspiring Presence and all that stuff, and also makes you run an extra D3 models. This 30 Phoenix Guard, they are really tough to get through. I haven't actually lost the unit yet, wholly, which is interesting after like
4 up.
15 rounds.
It's still 4 up, aren't they?
Yeah, 4 up, 4 up. They are incredibly hard to get through at that number. The Charybdis is horrendous, except for its nice big -3 bravery within 12 inches, which is why it's there. And I'm sure we all know what Stormdrake Guard are like by now. They're around everywhere. Yeah, just run around, stab stuff, fling mortals, win games by themselves, as they do.
So if you max out your Bravery Bomb, what does it get to?
-5.
-5 with the Horrorghast spell.
Yeah, so -3 off the Charybdis. The Shyish Battle Mage can also give an additional -2. The Horrorghast means no Inspiring Presence and an extra D3 models run.
Yeah, and we notice here Nigel's got 2 artifacts because he's Anvil Guard.
Yep.
What's the dealings? Yep. What's your grand strategy, Nigel? What's Mighty Beachhead?
It's the Weird Cities of Sigmar one. So it's the same as the terrain one that's in the normal book, except people's faction terrain counts as 3 points for the math for me instead of 1.
You're going to catch a lot of people out on that.
Yeah, so like a boat or something like that from IDK will be worth 3 points for me instead of 1. So it's a little bit easier.
Even when it's split in 2 as well. So
yep.
Yeah. Very good.
That's
a good list. I like it. 30 Phoenix Guard.
They're a solid brick. They do not die, which is great.
You're leaning into the filth now, Nigel.
We'll see. The Frostheart is overrated, but aside from that, yeah. Yeah, I guess now we're on to the Fire Slayers. Lachlan first. It's Ubisoft Magmadroth. So the Rune Suns are actually battle line. It's just the way that War Scroll Builder does things. Doesn't like moving stuff to the right spot. So yeah, 4 Magmadroths. Fun. They're way faster than you would think a ground dude would be. Yeah, really, really fast. I think there's even like a run and charge still ability in the book as well. They do bounce back mortals, so you do damage on them and they fling mortals back in your face, which is incredibly frustrating. Yeah, the breath weapons are really good at hosing down big units as well. I think they cap out at like 10 attacks or something like that with it. So yeah, it's really good. They are only on 4 up saves though, so they are killable. But yeah, that's very fast, very punchy. All the other stuff is really just for grabbing objectives like the Hearthguard and the Berserkers, while the Magmadroths run around like psychopaths, burning and chopping stuff to death. Then yeah, the Rune Master and the Rune Smiter, just various buffs and wards. I think there's a 5+ ward in there somewhere on one of the runes that they can flick out. But yeah, it's all about the Magmadroths on that.
I started to see a few of these lists pop up in the last few months and win events.
Oh yeah.
Lachlan won Rumble 2, I'm pretty sure. Went 3-0, and I'm pretty sure he didn't fail the battle tactic. Or he might have failed 1. So he went right through 3-0 and barely failed a battle tactic. So he's one to watch. Not an S tier, you don't reckon?
I think they're beatable. I don't think they're as fully filth as some of the other S tiers that are in. They're close. Like definitely in the A tier land. But probably just not poking into S tier yet. I just don't know if the Magmadroths are tough enough. Just on that 4 up.
He's going to go well.
He'll go well. Yeah.
He'll go very well.
Definitely A tier if we were marking it, but not into the S tier yet.
He'll be around the mark. Yep. Right.
Yeah. The other Fire Slayer, Nathan Thompson. It's almost exactly the same list, pretty much. Quad Magmas. He's got some Hearthguard Berserkers for that 4 up ward. It's pretty much the same thing. Except he's got the pretty good pistoliers, which is interesting. They're very fast. They're a little bit shooty. 5 models on an objective, which is kind of nice for picking up stuff around the place.
Pick up objectives or just snipe heroes or wizards or something. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
They're
I
nice.
mean, baby heroes they could definitely clean up,
I
or
think
just to
protein.
suicide him into something like sentinels or something like that if you need be. So your magma drops don't get eaten up. Yeah,
I'm going to go as far as saying Nathan's probably the best player in this tournament. I reckon, with the results he's been getting lately, he did very well at Rampage. I think he might have top 5. Very stiff at Border War 2, where the round 3, I think he lost by 1 VP and could have come second, but dropped to 9th.
brutal.
Very, very
Yeah,
unlucky, and has been playing Fire Slayers for years, so he knows his way around them. Absolutely beat me up at which isn't hard to do. It's Morgan.com. Obliterated me. He knows what he's doing. So yeah, and a nice guy. Nathan's from Geelong, part of those boys. He'll be coming up with Cootsie.
cool.
Good to see. It'll be good to see you, Nathan.
Yeah. And from most experienced to one of the least experienced, one of our new boys, Sam, with his IDK. This is the first tournament for Sam, so congrats. It's the other half of the Fury of the Deep box. And yeah, he's moved off Seraphon and now he's onto IDK, so this is going to be interesting. It's still fairly new for him.
Better chaser.
Very much. It's all good. It's a good fun play to play against, so it should be good. The Akellian King, it's a heat-seeking missile. He's fast. He'll just run into something and explode it. Very squishy though. You can absolutely kill that thing dead before it gets a chance. Low tens there for mostly for the rituals. The big one being the blocking shooting outside 12 inches for a turn, which is brutal against some lists. The turtle is the most irritating thing on the face of the planet. Really great save. Gives hella awesome buffs all over the place to everything. The thralls, they get into something, they will blend it. They are really, really great units these days. They're not the trash tier ignores like they used to be. And those Reavers put out so many shots. Like, oh my god. Something like 40 shots, and it's on like twos and twos or something ridiculous as well. It's that's wild. So this list can absolutely just like run right through you if you're not careful. Got a couple of sharks. I'm surprised he's using the harpoon instead of the net, which is kind of interesting because the net means you can't pile in if it hits, whereas the harpoon is just straight damage. But I mean, whatever works for you, whatever works for you.
A couple of pigeons in there as well.
Yeah, a couple of Aether Wings just to annoy James, I think mostly. No, they're mostly there just to run off and grab an objective and be annoying. It's 3 models on an objective for 65 points.
Or target practice for the Reavers.
Yeah, pretty much. Or just stand in front and take the hit of a magma drop or something, whatever's running, flying at his army. So, I mean, you'd rather lose Aether Wings over something else. The big thing with IDK is their tides, the tides mechanic. So each turn they do something different. The big one being round 3, where his whole army strikes first. So,
both
yeah.
turns, isn't it? It's the whole of round 3.
Yep, right? all battle round 3, which is very, very spooky.
And IDK, you got to shoot the closest unit.
Yep, you have to shoot the closest unit, which so big shooting armies are going to struggle, but you're going to struggle to like pick out the important stuff. You're going to be stuck shooting, annoying thralls and stuff like that, rather than vastly more important Akellian Kings.
He'll go well. He can play. He's been getting some wins on our Tuesday nights at club. And he's dedicated. He's throwing it all into IDK. So all the best, Sam. Enjoy your first event.
Yeah. Now on to Anthony Zag. Alrighty. So this is the next S tier list. 60 Sentinels, you jerk. Yeah. 60 Sentinels. So if you can take 20 mortal wounds in a turn, you're great. If you can't, yeah, have fun. They're also 30-inch range, and they don't need line of sight, so that's going to be interesting. The Wardens are purely here as a bodyguard, I'd imagine, just to stop the Sentinels getting slapped to death. The Cathalar, the only hero, has arguably the most annoying spell in all of Age of Sigmar, period. The Total Eclipse means you have to spend 2 CP in order to do something with a command point. That was the spell that made me realize Games Workshop doesn't actually play this game, because they released that in AOS 2 when you had like no CP. So it pretty much meant like you get like one command ability the entire game when that goes up. It's ridiculous. But yeah, this is absolute NPE at its absolute finest. Those wind spirits are going to be incredibly irritating at the end of the shooting phase. Every shooting phase, they can move up to 12 inches. So expect those wind spirits to come right up into your face, so you can't move. And then in your shooting phase, they're going to fuck off 12 inches, and you're not going to be able to charge them, and you're going to be incredibly irritated.
They're annoying. They
Yeah,
are annoying.
this is
It's
S tier at its finest.
it is. It's a fun list though. He's only got one hero. He's only got the Cathalar. So it can be broken down pretty quickly. You've just got to get there.
Yeah, if you can get around the wind spirits and get around the wardens and into those sentinels, it's going to crumble. But you have to get there.
So he's the second lowest drops list. Interesting, Anthony didn't put in a third unit for hunters. He's only got 2 there. His 2 wardens, he probably could have put a sentinels in. Maybe, obviously, he's just going to put them at the back anyway, so they should be out of range.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good.
Oh, this will be hurtful. Get the tissues ready.
Yeah, it's going to do a lot of damage. But you get in, and oh boy, you're going to have a fun time in those sentinels and just run right through them.
There's nothing like bashing up some elves.
Oh yeah.
It's the best feeling.
Alrighty, and then the next Lumineth, Tim, the other S tier, the next S tier. There's only 20 sentinels in this, so I guess kind of better, maybe. And rather than the normal foxes, he's got the hero fox instead in Sevireth. So still same thing, he's just doing it less. The big thing here is the initial enhancement of a spell, which I think gives away his game plan here. You see a lot of speed of Hysh hanging around all the place everywhere. So this army is going to come at you at like Mach 10 turn 1. Because speed of Hysh is like double movement speed or something ridiculous. I've played someone who did roughly this kind of thing before, and I had wind charges on my board edge, top of turn 1. Not my territory, the board edge. Like that's how fast they are. So I have a feeling those big 20 packs of wardens and the wind charges are just going to fly across the board at you, and you're going to be fighting in your deployment zone the entire game. Which would be, it's cool. It's a nice, interesting way to play the list rather than what everyone does, which is stand at the back with sentinels and shoot away. Like it's very aggressive.
I like it. I haven't seen anything like this for a while. I like it. I think this is a little bit different. I think this is better than Anthony's. Anthony's is going to just smash early, but I think this is, yeah, it's got a little bit of defense. 2 blocks of 20 wardens, and those wind charges that are going to annoy you. Tim loves pinning units down and just messing with you.
Yeah.
So he'll go well here. But he'll go very well, and he's a very good player. Very good player.
Yeah, it's good. I'm interested to see how well this will go. I hope it does well, because I really wish people would stop going towards sentinels. Sorry, Anthony, I'm going to keep shit talking your list. Yeah, because this is fun. This is the kind of thing, if I did Lumineth, I'd be more like this. Just run at people full speed and slap people around. Yeah. And then onto Chris Ag, with our only Stormcast somehow, but it is an S tier. This is the big boy Stormcast list that if you want to win tournaments, this is what you grab. So Lord Relictor, you can't shoot him outside 12 inches because of the mirror shield. He's +1 for his prayers, so that translocation, which is a teleport unit, will go off. Pretty much, it's on a 2-up, and he gets a reroll. I have seen someone fail that twice in one game though, so he's hoping for bad dice. But aside from that, it's all about the Vanguard Raptors and the Stormdrake Guard. Those long range double mortals on 6s from the Vanguard Raptors, and Stormdrake a Stormdrake. The Thunderbolt Volley also lets a unit shoot twice, whether that'll be the Raptors or the Stormdrake, who knows? I guess it's going to depend on what's around, but yeah, that's very, very powerful.
7 drops as well, so he's the second lowest as well. So
Yep.
he's gonna translocate his Raptors somewhere, get them to shoot in the hero phase and the shooting phase, and just annihilate something.
That, or he'll whip the Stormdrake guard over somewhere, then hero phase, move him, get the charge off, so he's like right in your lines instantaneously. There's a lot of options with the list.
That Stormkeeper, that mean his Vindictors are worth 3 on an objective?
Yeah, they become worth more on the objective later in the game.
Yeah, that's hell annoying. That's a Brody special, that is. But Chris has been running this for a while and doing very well. He's very competitive, and I mean, this will be up there. It has to be. I mean, don't flop, Chris. Seriously.
Yeah.
This has got to be up there. It's good.
Yeah, Chris, if you fail, like you're gonna have to like start wearing a bag over your head out of shame because this is a very, very powerful list.
Shots in the car park.
Yeah, and then our final S tier list, Richard with his Seraphon Thunder Lizard.
Oh, this is gross.
Yeah, plus Croak, just to really, truly be annoying. Yeah, Thunder Lizards reduces damage by 1. So if you do D3 and you roll a 3, that 3 becomes a 2. That's incredibly, incredibly powerful. Croak, he's still a jerk. He's still very powerful, hugely powerful magic. Board wide dispels all kinds of crazy shenanigans. Huge, powerful spells. And he's not like everybody else trying to kill him. He heals at the end of every phase, but he has to roll a 2d6 or something like that. And if he rolls over the current wounds, he instantly dies. So it's kind of weird, but you can't like kill him in a turn. You pretty much have to kill him in a phase unless Richard is horrendous at rolling dice.
I've got a story about that. I'll add that in at the end. Richard will love me for
it. Yeah. Aside from that, it's just oh my god shooting and powerful dinosaurs all over the place. Huge horde clearing weapons. Pretty decent summoning as well. Those Bastillodons are on a 1-up save to start off with until you chip them down. They do bracket pretty quick, but they are on a 1-up save to start off with. If you happen to be a Chaos player, enjoy getting damage 2 weapons all over the place and extra damage against you just out of spite, because, you know, that's how we do. And there's actually a lot of healing around as well, as you can see. So even if you do start to get one of the big boys down, one of the Stegs or the Bastillodons, they can get healed back up again. So
now, Richard's got that pre-game move too with the Alpha Beast pack,
yep.
which is nice. He's 9 drops, so he's not the lowest. He's probably in the low.
It's a bit above average, but yeah.
The lowest quartile, I reckon. But yeah, he'll still get to dictate who goes first a bit. Just the what a wounds in the hero phase and the shooting phase he can do. Wow, I copped it a week ago. And stayed in the game for 3 turns. I killed Croak at the end. But yeah, you've just got to hold on somehow. Just make sure you've got good saves on your key figures. I'm pretty sure what Croak does. This is what Richard and I played it at the end of the combat phase. It might be any phase, but
it's any phase, yeah.
This case it was the combat phase. You roll 3 dice and add up the amount of wounds that he was allocated to Croak in that combat phase, and if it's 20 or more, he blows up. He just dies. Yeah, so you really want to try and get 10, 12 wounds on Croak in a single combat phase, and then he rolls 3 dice and adds 12 to that, and he blows up if it's 20 or more. So yeah, it can definitely happen.
The hard part is just getting all that in one phase.
Well, you got to get to him too.
Yeah, that too. Have to get through all the other dinos.
Richard's undefeated. We've been doing a bit of a ladder at Model Citizens for a month or so, and I think he's 6-0 with this.
Yeah.
Beaten down to the newbies, Richard. Nice.
Yeah, poor Sam, I think, killed the 5 Saurus Knights, and that was about it in the game.
To Richard's credit, though, he absolutely wiped me and
a few other
people. So he knows what he's doing. Yeah, I reckon he'll podium. I reckon he'll be up there.
Richard's my pick to win.
Ooh,
I'm giving you that right now. I reckon
alright.
Richard's going to win.
Okay. Lay it down. Lay down a challenge.
Yep. No pressure, Rich. Yeah, and from S tier to Sylvaneth tier, Jeremy. Yeah, Sylvaneth is pretty cool. He's got a bit of mix of the new stuff and the old stuff while we're waiting for the new books to come out, which theoretically is going to be on the day, well, at least pre-orders on the day. So yeah, it's kind of like the Skaven stuff, where it's a little bit of mix of new and old shenanigans going on. Just like the Slaanesh, don't be fooled by what's on here. There is, oh my god, so much summoning coming out of this list. So you can almost double what's on the board here. Tree Lord gives off area effect buffs for saves. He can reroll ones on his save himself, which makes him very, very hard to break through. Lady Vines has a spell to put out a 5-up ward, also in an area effect, so stack that on top. Alariel, she can slap. She's a pretty big hitter. And she also heals 2d6 a turn, which is a lot. So if you screw up and you don't kill her, she goes straight back up to max, and you're like, uh-oh, badness. The Kurnoths also very hard to break through. They also can really slap stuff around. So it's a tough one to break through. Actually, it's going to take a lot, unless you have mortals, in which case you're going to be doing fairly well, especially if the lady doesn't get her ward save spell off. Yeah, aside from that, all the other stuff is just roadblock trees and all kinds of stuff in your face to prevent you from getting exactly where you want to go.
Annoying.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, those Kurnoth hunters are great.
yeah, they can really hit hard, which is really cool.
Treacle on Ancient's annoying. You had a lot of fun with that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I think I got maybe 3 wounds out of it, out of like 4 or 5 combat turns, and it was just healing it straight back up. Just 2-up save, re-rolling ones. Good luck, have fun.
Jeremy's from Model Citizens. He's played in a few events, and
Yeah.
maybe even did doubles, I think, in Geelong once. So yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yep.
And it's good to see him rolling through Sylvaneth and moving on from Doc, which is good. Good to see Sylvaneth in an event.
I think he's on the early page here, and he's when the new book comes out, he's going to be a terror with the list.
Yeah, some good stuff coming out. All right.
Cool. And what you all been waiting for? Matchups. Yay! Or it would be,
So,
except James has been irritating me and constantly asking again and again and again when this show is. So instead, what we're going to do, we're going to sit here for a couple of minutes just to annoy specifically James, because he keeps asking. So everyone in chat, thank James for this enforced delay.
might be a good chance for a toilet break. Yeah.
Yeah. Run off, grab a drink, run back while we just sit here and thank James for making us wait, because he kept asking when this show would be. Thanks, James.
Thanks, James. All right, we might kick on.
Yeah,
I
it's
reckon
probably
that
enough.
kick,
I'm bored
I reckon
already.
that
The meme is done.
A couple of Mortek Guard and that, or a couple of
Bam.
tree
Here we go,
First
people.
Blood. There it is. All right, so pairings. So we've got our grudges as well. You can see Will's grudging Jared, so Soul Blight versus Legion of the First Prince on table 1. We've got Carlos and Kieran in the mirror match. Skaven Tide. Got Jack and Jeremy. So that'll be, that's going to be, that could be a brutal game. Ogre, more tribes of Sylvaneth, so think about what you need to do there, Jeremy. Then you've got a bit of rivalry here with Cohen and James. You've got Skaven Tide and Kin of Nurgle, which may be an interesting game. There's lots of bodies on that board that Cohen's got. James, very good with Mag King. And we've got Zane and Lenny Now, they had a great game at Rumble 2. Lenny got the points there, I'm pretty sure, in a close one. So their rivalry's just beginning. That'd be good. Two nice guys. And then we've got Smash, Richard versus Lachlan. That could be, yeah. That's a massive game. That is a massive, massive
That's a
game, that
huge
one.
game. That probably could be
Yeah,
for the winner, to be honest.
I reckon it could be straight away. It could be. Do you want to go over the last four, Nige?
Yeah, after that we got Simon against Anthony Zag, which is oof. We'll talk about that in depth in a little bit, but oof. Jared versus Tim, Sam versus Chris, and then myself versus Nathan in the Fire Slayers. So
We've got a few notes that we'll go over for each one. So we'll go back up to number one. So Will hasn't played regularly for a bit, so you'd probably give the benefit of the doubt to Jared. Look, I'll let you read your notes, Nigel, and I'll also pitch in a bit, and let's predict who wins. First.
yeah, first table. Yeah, like you said, Will hasn't played for a bit, so you'd have to kind of give it to Jared just on like recent experience, but also the Legion of First Prince relies on like the Furies and all that stuff blocking out the board, which those Blood Knights are just going to completely ignore. They're just going to run right over the top of them and go to wherever they want. So it's kind of a spicy matchup. Bloodthirsters aren't actually as tough as you think like a graded Demon of Khorne would be. Like they're very much an AOS 2 book, like War Scroll. So it could be spicy, it could be interesting, but I think it's probably going to be Jared.
Jared's got the reps in too.
Yeah.
But I think these two. I think Will gets into Jared's head a bit. I reckon he might go alright here. He's just coming off a long run up. Will hasn't played in a while. Probably a bit of banter in the background, so it will be a good game. It'll be a fun game because they're both great blokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go with Jared as well. You might get him. Legion of the First Prince. That's a good allegiance. What do we got next?
We've got the King of the Rats match. Skaventide versus Skaventide, Carlos and Kieran. They both know this army inside out, so it's going to be very technical and tricky, I imagine. Like you can't do any kind of normal feints and stuff like that you'd expect against an opponent because they know all your bullshit. So yeah, this I almost kind of want to watch this match because it's going to be wild and oh my god, there's going to be so many dead rats. Um, Having said that, I have to go for Carlos here. I think Carlos is going to take it.
Ooh. I'm going to go Kieran. Sorry, Carlos.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can punch me in the face Tuesday. I think Kieran's just slightly more in tune with Skaven. I don't know. He's been playing tournaments, been playing a little bit more competitively. I'm going to go Kieran. Carlos, you'll win best painter. Don't worry about that.
Ooh, even that's going to be tough.
Yeah, no, it will be. Everyone's voting against him now. Jack and Jeremy.
Yeah. Whew. Jack has the drops. Jeremy has infinite stuff to keep chucking in front of all those big boys. So in front of the Stonehorns. So I don't know if Jack has the shooting power to get through the Dryads and all that kind of shenanigans. Um, Interesting enough, like the Blood Vulture is different depending on what unit it is, which is kind of weird, but whatever. So he doesn't really have a lot of shooting to clear off Dryads so he can run into the big stuff and get the impact models out. So ooh, it's a tough one. I reckon Jeremy, as long as he doesn't screw up his deployment, I reckon Jeremy's probably going to be is going to have this because he's just going to keep chucking infinite summonables in front of the Stonehorns and they're never going to get a chance to do anything.
Chap and all the way. If Jeremy has a brain fade, this is over in a turn and a half.
Oh yeah, instantly.
It's over in a round and a half. But I think Jack Yolo's up the board, right? And then probably exposes himself a bit on the board, not pants down kind of stuff. But Jeremy might be able to summon, might have a quite a lot of room to summon on the objective. So Jack's got to think about what he does too, because his arm is very much go in, smash, delete. So he's going to have to play the objective game too. I'm going to go Jeremy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
reckon it's going to be Jeremy as well. As long as he doesn't screw up the
Go with
deployment,
that.
because it is a fairly long distance across for First Blood at the start. So as long as he doesn't screw up, I reckon he should be fine.
Yeah. I'll pick the right hand side. I'm just going to go down the right hand side. Game 4, table 4.
Yeah, Cohen and James. Ooh, this is kind of wild because we've got like maximum guys versus minimum guys, which is kind of funny. Um, Mortals on the charge are great with the beasts of Nurgle, whatever they are, just coming in and out doing that. But you're also doing it against 80 clan rats, so like, who gives a fuck? So like, yeah, I don't think the disease points are also going to matter against Skaven Assault. Do they even? James will probably know. Does the disease point even work on Skaven Tide because they're technically Nurgle? Because if it doesn't, it's not going to matter anyway. Because again, you're doing mortals to clan rats, and who gives a fuck? Um, yeah, but it should be interesting, and hopefully that abomination gets to just like run over a whole bunch of stuff and get some nice kills into there. Yeah, I think it's going to be Cohen. He's going to have too many rats.
How many wounds do the Beasts of Nurgle each?
Oh, 6 or 7 or something like
They have a monster keyword?
that.
They're not.
No,
Okay. So they're not worth much on an objective,
not
are
really.
they?
No, yeah, that's the other thing. It's going to really
Yeah,
struggle to take an objective against
too
the
hard to
infinite rat.
if Cohen plays him and moves him around a bit, might be alright. I've just got to go with James. He knows what he's doing.
Gonna keep down that side of the
So,
table, huh? Okay.
yeah, yeah. I think James. Sorry, Cohen. I think James knows what he's doing. James won't let James won't let Cohen beat him.
We'll see. We'll
He
see.
can't.
You never know.
Can't afford to. He can't afford to. 5.
5. Yeah, the pin court versus Lenny. So S tier Maggot of Nurgle versus the new shiny Nighthaunt. Um,
Yeah. Oof,
yeah, like
this
the
is tough.
flies don't rely on Rend to get their job done. They just kind of hang out and do minimal stuff while just doing impact hits and mortals and disease points, which is more mortals, which is kind of brutal against Nighthaunt. That many mortals. But having said that, like you said before, the Emerald Host is really good for chipping stuff down. Um, he slings that potentially against like the flies or something like that, just to really kind of trip them down. That could be interesting as well. Also, Be'lakor can only do his thing if the unit is on the board. So Zane can grab his important units and take them off the board and deep strike them later, which will kind of negate Be'lakor a lot as well. Um, but it's very much an uphill battle, I think, for Zane.
Well, Lenny's got to be careful what he does here because he gets that pre-game move. He's going to want to push forward and pin, exposing his back objectives. So, and he knows that Nighthaunt can take 3 off the table and just dump them anywhere at any time at the end of the movement phase. So that's going to get in Lenny's head too. Um, yeah, look, Stain's got he can spend that command point for a 5-up ward and shooting combat phase. Just go bang and do that, and he's got this spell, the Seal of Shyish, which is a 5-up ward for your next hero phase. So if he gets them on the right targets and keeps his units alive, he's going to bring his units back. He doesn't have Lady Linda though, Zane, which is interesting. But yeah, it's all about this is another one where deployment's key. Zane does his homework and watches a few bat reps. He'll be in with a chance here. Lenny wins for mine.
Yeah, I think Lenny's going to take it.
Yep.
Just by making the armor saves redundant. The whole ethereal thing is going to be pointless, but yeah.
Richard and Lachlan, the game of the round.
Oh yeah, by far. Probably for the win of the tournament, I have a feeling.
Probably the
When we
game
look
of
back.
the tournament.
And having said that, I think Richard's probably going to take it. Because that damage reduction against those Magma Dross, there are lots of damage 2s and lots of damage D3s. So almost halving the Magma Dross output just by existing, which is a lot of damage just gone.
Got to be a lot of victory points floating around this game.
Oh yeah,
The thing that Lachlan's got on his side is that Richard's got that, is it the Basti with the solar engine or whatever it is, which for a +1. So if Lachlan gets into those and kills them, he's going to get extra victory points for killing them for the hunt.
true. The Magmadroths, or actually, yeah, the Rune Suns also do mortals on 6s against monsters, which is going to help. Just to get through that ridiculous 1-up save. But yeah, I just have a feeling the damage reduction is just going to cut those Fire Slayers in half effectively, and just not going to be able to get enough output out to win the match.
Who's lowest drops here? Richard was 9, wasn't he? What's
Yeah,
Lachlan?
so probably Lachlan. I think he's like a 7 or 8.
Yeah, I think, yeah. So Lachlan probably goes first. I think Richard wins.
Yeah.
Got to go with the man. He's been dominating lately. Just no one's getting close. And it's Seraphon.
Yeah,
Slayers.
and that's before we even talk about Croak. There's also that whole bullshit on the side as well.
Number 7.
Yeah, number 7. Sorry,
60
Simon.
more, 60 more Sentinels.
Didn't want Catacross anyway. Yeah. Simon very much relies on people not being able to get to Catacross and the Harvesters, and Anthony has the exact list for picking that out. So, yeah, rip. Having said that, if Anthony rolls a little bit below average, he may not be able to actually kill some of that stuff off through the mortals. So, and there's pretty decent healing regen there as well. So Catacross may just start going straight back up on his health, same as the Harvesters. And if Anthony can't get rid of those, he will never ever kill the Mortek. And once the Mortek get into there, they're just going to grind straight through him. So it's going to be whether Simon can get there. If he can get there with, we'll say, 2 out of the 3 key pieces alive, he'll probably win. It's probably a coin flip if he gets there with 1. If he gets over none, he's probably lost.
It's a long deployment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a long way.
Jason first blood, isn't it? So, yeah, who goes first? Anthony probably goes second, actually. So, because Simon's got to get there. Anthony takes the double. Pew pew.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or the other way, I mean, if Anthony goes top of the turn, Simon gets a double back, that might be enough to get over there. Because the Bone Reapers can increase their speed through the Relentless Discipline points, so they may get there in a double.
Yeah.
But
They're
yeah,
pretty
it's
slow though, aren't they, OBR?
they're slow. Yeah, very, very slow. It's a long, long way to be getting shot at by arrows the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, Anthony wins.
Yeah,
I
Anthony
think.
by that scene in 300, just nothing but arrows blotting out the sun.
Jared and Tim.
Yeah, another kind of oof, I have a feeling. Slaanesh are very, very squishy, and there's not a lot on the board to start off with, and they need time to get up all their summoning points, which is done by chipping stuff damage all over the place, and I don't think this Lumineth are going to give him time. I think this Lumineth is going to be deleting half his army turn 1, and it's probably going to be all over there, unfortunately.
It's going to be up in his face real early on. So
Yeah.
Jared will do his homework, but yeah, Tim's a very good player, and Tim's prior to Tzeentch, he's playing a lot of Lumineth Realm Lords too. So
Yep.
he knows what he's doing. He's a good pilot. Yeah, Tim gets that one. I hope Jared has a good day and has a competitive game. He'll have one of the best armies of the day though. He'll win that.
There's definitely other stuff around that Jared's going to do great against. It's just, unfortunately, he's fighting against a absolute missile list that's going to come at him really, really fast. He's just not going to get the chance, unfortunately.
Remember, Jared's playing Slaanesh.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not great.
Yeah, he needs the time, and he's just up against the one list that doesn't give him, which is a shame. But who knows? Maybe Tim will screw up. You never know.
Yeah.
Roll ones.
Tim for mine. Sam and Chris.
The coin flip.
IDK Stormcast.
Chris is probably slamming his head against the desk because this is probably the one list he does not want to fight. Yeah, being able to only shoot the closest unit and Sam being able to put up that ritual so they can only shoot when you're within 12 inches, making those raptors incredibly useless. Yeah, that's kind of brutal for him. Sam is still
Sam,
fairly new though with the IDK, so it's very easy for him to put a unit in the wrong spot all of a sudden, and that could be big.
he does have cover though, doesn't he? Turn 1.
Yeah, but it's +1
Yeah.
save. You don't really care
Yeah.
against mortals.
No. And then it's run and shoot. Turn 2, and then
Yep.
it's
Run
auto
and
attack turn
charge
3.
as well, I think.
He's just got to get to battle round 3, Sam, and he's a chance. He's a definite chance. But he's got to get there.
He's got to get there,
Chris
yeah.
is 7 drops. Sam's a few more than that, I think. But well, I hope Sam's got to think about where he deploys his turtle.
Yep.
I think that's the key.
Keep the turtle safe very much.
Yeah, but also not too east or west. Get my drift.
Yeah.
It's got to be pretty central so you can go just swing one side of the board or the other. But yeah, I think Chris has got this one.
I think Chris, but he's only going to do it because I think he's going to get a double turn at some point, and that'll be the flip. I think Sam will be winning until a double turn, and then it'll be all over.
Oh well.
And yeah,
Good to only see one Stormcast list.
yeah,
So mission accomplished, Nigel.
yeah. Fuck Stormcast.
Next, table 10.
Me, I'm going to clearly win this by like 800 points to 0. It's not even going to be close, clearly.
I know you'll probably try and take him to 5 though.
That's
knowing you.
my plan. Nathan very much has the kind of list I don't like fighting. I'm much better at fighting. Funnily enough, Chris is exactly what I'm actually built to fight against. Fighting against big packs of monsters is not my jam. So it's going to be a tough one, but if I can have a model on the board at the end of 5, I'm going to be happy.
What's your threat? What can your dragons take out if they don't whiff? What can they take out?
The
What should
what?
they take out? What should your dragons take out in Nathan's list? He's got to help you.
Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to talk about it on thing. I'm going to make you try to figure out what I'm going to do. I have inside knowledge on myself.
You're just going to take out Magmadross. It's pretty easy, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
And one in particular. Yeah. Sorry, Nigel. Nathan's got this.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say he's probably got it. Having said that, he's also only got 4 units that's actually punchy, like it's meant to do the job. So I don't know. Maybe I'll roll well. Maybe he'll roll bad. We'll see. But yeah, I'd say Nathan's probably going to take it.
All right. There are our pairings for table for First Blood. Sorry. Just remember your table numbers when you come in. They'll all be set up. Table numbers will be there. So as soon as you come in, don't start rolling dice, but you can certainly go to your table and unpack your stuff and get ready because I think preparation's the key. We get through it pretty quickly. Let's move on to the next one. Just a few reminders towards the end as we wrap up. This is a schedule reminder, so please be on time. There's car parking out the front of Games Portal, which is it's free on a Saturday, isn't it, Nigel?
I don't think I've ever seen an inspector around there anyway. Should be fine.
Yeah,
It's never been a problem before.
Briefing and player setup, so be there on time, and we'll have a quick briefing beforehand, and we'll go over everything. Just there's reminders. There'll be scoring sheets on your table. The results sheet that you hand to me will be on the table. The hunt table sheet will be there. There's lunch around, so you can just walk over the road to Subway. It's only a 45-minute break, so we do have to be pretty punctual around that because we don't want to push back game 2 because that'll push back game 3, and then we'll all be in trouble with our families if we get home at 8 o'clock.
For sure.
A few other reminders. The best painted is for a unit of 3 to 5. That is in your list. So it's not going to include summonable models. So it's got to be a unit of 3 to 5 in your list. Everyone knows how to play First Blood, Savage Games. Survival of the Fittest might be one you want to look at. with your free predator units that you're going to choose at the start of the game to get additional victory points. Savage Gains, I think everyone knows it got fact, didn't it, Nige? For the two wing
Yep.
objectives that are worth 2 each. So it's 4, 2, and 1, 4, 2, 2, and 1. So it's you can score pretty heavily on Savage Gains. Very good. I'll be TOing throughout the day, so don't hesitate to call me over for any rulings. Nigel's also a ATO as well, so if you can't get me, get on to him. Should be pretty smooth. We're going to post a few things on Facebook event page tomorrow leading up to the event of what to bring and also how to make your games fairly quick, because there's nothing worse than having a slow game, because you want your opponent to have a good time as well as you, to get through as many turns as you can. We will go through the scoring because we don't want hypotheticals at the end of every game. We want to get through enough turns, have a clear outcome.
Yeah, finish your games.
Yeah, finish your games. Final predictions. Who wins, Nigel?
Like I said, it's going to be Rich. He's got it.
Can we go back to the...
Sure can.
Yep. If you're playing at home, why don't you put in beside yourself, put in who you think might win. I think, yeah, Nathan Thompson will be up there, and I think Richard will be up there, and
Anthony will be up there. Anthony Zag.
Oh, I reckon Lenny might go well. Yeah. I reckon Lenny might go well. Anthony Zag. So I'm going to say Nathan beats Richard in the third game.
Ooh.
And Richard comes second, and geez, the Fire Slayers are good. Lockie's going to be up there. Lenny's coming third. Don't have a brain fade, Lenny. You're coming third. So I reckon, yeah, there's lots of good lists.
Yeah, it should be good.
Yeah, enjoy yourself, everyone. Thanks. Just a couple of thank yous. Thanks, Nige, for setting this up. Working on the YouTube and the Discord channel, and what you see, Nigel's done all that. He's done the PowerPoint, everything else. We will have a raffle on the day and a couple of door prizes as well. So please bring cash for the raffle. $1, $2, $5, $10. So bring some cash. No, won't be taking any card. Also, thanks to Nick at Craftsman Wargaming up in Albury-Wodonga, those boys at Borderline Wargaming. So thanks, Nick. He's sending some stuff our way. And thanks to the boys who have just helped out with advice. Will Knight's helped out a fair bit with some things in the background. So has Anthony and Lenny. They've helped out a little bit too. And of course, yeah, you, Nigel, and the guys at Games Portal done a terrific job.
Yep.
And should look very fresh. So we'll see you on Saturday. We'll open up a FAQ post, rules post as well in the event page, just in case anyone's got any questions, so we can just mitigate problems early on and get around those. But yeah, happy painting. Make sure they're all primed and be ready to go. See you 8:30 on Saturday.
Alrighty. Have a good one, everyone.
Have a good long weekend, everyone. Stay safe. See you later.
See ya.